quick way. Morning, Reverend. A lot of videos being pumped out, isn't it? I'm sorry, there's a lot of things I'm coming across that I still have stuff to say about things. If I'm wasting your time, sir, I'm sorry. It's 16th or 17th today. This is 17th of September, Tuesday. It's 6:29 in the morning. Sun's out, West Coast time. Bit chilly. It's going to be about 80s today. Not bad. Could have been better. My body's trying to tell me that either I need sleep or I need nourishment or I need both. I've been up for a few hours and she's been struggling. But there's been things I've been struggling that I'm going to be sending links over to you to talk to you about. You'll get the videos, and hopefully if I get them modified enough of the descriptions, I'll get the descriptions out to let you know what's going on. Because this has been pissing me off and frustrating me, and I had gotten to things that I've really been going through. Talking about death and suicide again. Oh, I'm not planning about mine. I was reacting to someone else who passed away this past Friday by suicide. 17-year-old young woman who made on America's Got Talent, and she couldn't get past the quarterfinals here in her team, but she tried. She's well known in Rancho Cucamonga, California, in a high school of hers. She thought she had everything going, but then a month later, after the America Got Talent thing, this Friday, they found her on a freeway. And hardly anybody has been communicating on how bad that hurts. I had to go off on the tangents again. I mean, I'd gone to it every once in a great while these days, but when I started at the channel, yeah, I've been talking about it. I've been talking about death. I've been talking about suicide. I've been talking about death. Shit. I didn't know the girl. 17-year-old, pretty young lady who's captain of a cheerleading team. She made headlines. She made national news. She got national attention. She got our local attention out here with the local stations. But it still gets to me, Reverend, because I was trying to get into her head on this one by going through my head on the shit. I had seen a friend of mine one day, and the next day seen his obituary because he killed himself. He hung himself. His name was Jimmy Baker. I kept blaming his big brother, 2 or 3 years older than him, who was graduating out of ninth grade. Old Jimmy was in seventh grade, getting tormented by his brother. He got into senior law, and all hell breaks loose. He thinks it's fun. Greg thought it was a game. Jimmy wasn't. Jimmy hung himself. Yeah, that definitely leaves a mark in a memory and stuff I thought I buried alive and it came back up again. I felt a hell of a lot for this kid. He was a friend in junior high, man. May have been a little squirt at run, I don't care. He was a kid. He was my friend. And I heard like a son of a bitch. Oh, God almighty, I heard like a son of a bitch. I should have been grieving for him that time. I don't remember if I actually did or not. Bad enough grieving for her grandmother and aunt and family members and pets and stuff. But for Jimmy? Every time I keep seeing the damn suicides happening these days, I'm constantly reminded of him. Of how much suicide even affects those around him, even though he passes on, how that wake affects us all. Reverend, I've been there. I damn near killed myself. I didn't do it on the arms or wrists, but, Vacation screwing me over, life screwing me over. I mean, shit. You should be hearing the ranting and the ravings over here. Probably put me into a damn mental institution at this point. I should have been one in a long time ago as a kid. As a teenager. Didn't want to deal with anything. Didn't want to deal with my grandmother or my mother or my brother's situations. God, I didn't want to deal with anything. I wanted to leave life. I wanted to run away. I wanted to die. I wanted to get away, period. Oh my God, Reverend. I didn't want to deal with God. That's scary. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't understand. You don't understand, Reverend. I mean, hell, 4 years old, dying and come back to life 3 times. Get denied upstairs. That wasn't my time. You're talking about absolute rejection from heaven, and yet I'm supposed to, in going through uh, Baptist and then Methodist, I'm supposed to pray to a God who couldn't even talk back to me what the hell was going on. I kept trying to send prayers up to him, but I couldn't feel the prayers. I couldn't feel the answers coming back. I didn't feel a connection. I wanted that damn connection. I wanted to talk to God about this damn thing. I mean, royally. But I didn't. I remember there was one time as a kid when my Aunt May was dying, and I'd run across the street to a church, go to a church service, and at the end of services, I was with the lay ministers. Would you like to experience Jesus? I didn't know what the hell he was. All I knew was I wanted to pray to God about my aunt dying at that time. I was running to God at the time, trying to say, God, help me. Save my aunt. And for a short time, he did. About months later, or a year later, she was taken home. She had a pacemaker. She had a heart attack. And it hit hard that I couldn't grieve right on this one. I had so much pain, so much tears wanted to come out, and I had to hold it all in. Flying up to Oakland to get her body buried. A viewing I wasn't supposed to see, and yet I saw the corpse with a blue and white house coat she wore. Ma thought it was inappropriate for me to see her, but I saw her through the windows. I remember that much of Aunt May. 6 months after her passing, she comes in my dreams, standing there smiling at me, and a blue and white house coat. She'd never been in this place before, and I'm in my dream and in the bathroom trying to get ready for school. And going to school, I was totally distraught and didn't know how to deal with it. And during that time, I was dealing with my grandmother having stroke issues. You're bedridden for about 3.5, nearly 4 years, somewhere in that time zone, in that time period, from junior high to high school. Dealing with Ma and her struggles, and it. David coming back for about a year AWOL from the Navy because nobody else would get him out of the Navy to help Ma out for about a year. Then he gets a warning from an uncle who's part of law enforcement in the state of California telling him that if he saw my brother again, he'd be busted. My brother goes back in the Navy, gets his punishment taken care of. He runs back home. Screwed up future all automatically there. And a screwed up personality with drugs and alcohol to boot. But I was supposed to expect to do these things by Ma because she expected me to better. I had no one to talk to about this shit. Oh, I had my friends with me, but I didn't feel like I was putting out their friendship enough, and I was always running and hiding. They always hung out in my bed, my house, anyways. It was the closest damn thing to the high school. It was a place for the kids to hang out at. I didn't do drugs. I didn't do alcohol during that time. My brother did. And he struggled with trying to keep a job to help Ma and take care of Grandma. And me, I kept struggling through high school and didn't even want to do anything. I wanted to run away, man. I wanted to get the hell out of Dodge so damn badly. You talking about mental illness at this point here, Rep? Try this one. I was a cartoon fanatic. And some cartoons I thought they were just cool to see and watching. Well, what happens if I wanted to be in their world and be them or be like them? Be a hero. Okay, here's one. This is definitely going on the unlisted, okay? So, here I am. Going crazy with the Masters of the Universe. Filmation project that they started out in the 1960s and ended up bankrupt or screwed up in the mid to late 80s. Went under. But these guys were making cartoons like crazy. Last one they made was Brave Star back in 86, 87. Or 87, 88, somewhere in that time zone. It was a cool cartoon too. But the one I was going for was back in the between 84 and 86. They had Masters of the Universe. He-Man. The power of the universe going through him. He had the strength. He was still a teenager. But the power aged him a bit. But not quite. He was still an immature kid with muscles. Now, what got to me is after they did about a season about him, they brought out his sister, She-Ra. Princess of Power. Oh my God. Okay. 12th grade. 11th to 12th grade. And they come out with her. And I wanted to see the live actions. You know, they're going to have different selected theaters. I wanted to get souvenirs because it was cartoon stuff and wanted to have fun with it. Brought a friend of mine to go over to a Saturday matinee. We missed the actors, but we got the goodies. Souvenir cartoon, comic. I still have it. But watching the film, oh boy. I never felt a sudden urge, feelings of couldn't deal with home. I wanted to run away right there. If they had a magical portal open up, I'd go and I'd never leave. I had enough with Ma. I had enough with David and his drug abusing shit. And Ma stressing out like crazy. Because she dealt with Grandma. She couldn't even deal with the grief. She was that much of an angry woman half the time anyway. And I couldn't deal with my anger and my grief concerning about Grandma, but I was going to run away anyway because I didn't know how to handle the damn shit. But here was an opportunity. If they had a portal, I'd step right through it. Right then and there. I thought for sure there was something for me to do over there. That would be Mama. Mama, come on. I'm over here. Come here. Ma, come here. What? What, sweetheart? Come here. No. Come here. She's been stressing like this for the past few days. It's not the pain in here. I don't know what's going on with her mentally. But she's in here. She feels she's okay. Oh, come here, honey. I wanted to run. I wanted to leave. I wanted so much. I saw this one woman, a drawn-up cartoon reverend, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. Blonde bombshell goddess, strength of He-Man, that man with a voice that was getting to me, with a warmth, and I wanted to be in her arms. Yeah. No, I haven't talked to my therapist about this one, but I was telling my brother about this one decades later on this one. We just hadn't talked about it before his passing, though. No, but this one I wanted to go real bad. We waited about a few months before the cartoon came on. About that time, I was getting out of high school and going through summer. Show premiered, and I was already going through college. And every single night I was going outside. I had already collected, I called it survival gear. Backpack full of camping gear, food, water packets, the works. I was ready to leave. We had things happening during that time. David was still going through the first stages of recovery. He already admitted he was already screwed up with his alcohol and drug abuse. Came home as a skeleton after we threw him out. Right after high school graduation, came back, and he was pleading for help. Ma had already been going through 12-step, another program dealing with her weight problem, and she had to deal with it. So, but during that time, I still wanted to run away and leave because I couldn't deal with this shit going on. And I thought the theory was going to help me out at this point over here. So, coming back home from school, if I had been working, fine. But if I hadn't been working, I'd come back home anyway. And I'd dress up. Plaid shirt, Levi's, camping boots, hiking boots actually, water repellent stuff ready to rock and roll, backpack with sleeping bag and everything else in it. I'd stare in front of the television and I'd just be on my knees with one knee and just waited and waited, kept praying and pleading. Please open up that portal. Please open up that portal. I wanted to leave in the worst way, Reverend. I wanted to leave in the worst way. God's got to do me this one favor. God's got to do me this favor. Come on, God, get me the hell out of here. What's with you? Oh, there must have been an anger and frustration. And at night, I'd go out walking in the neighborhood, going to a nearby church, sitting in the park a lot of times, or walking around, talking and praying to God out loud. I mean, softly enough, but still out in the open. I wanted to leave in the worst way. I wanted that portal. What would it take for God to do this for me? I wanted to leave. I wanted to go. While I'm talking about this to you at this point, I'm still feeling and thinking that. Going through my head. Going through the feelings I've had. Not willing to deal with upcoming events that I'm afraid of. Losing her. And still, it's kicking my ass on that one. But I would go through the college because I kept telling myself I was going to learn a lot of things and they were going to help me out on Etheria. The world was called Etheria. A magical place where magic and science lived. An alien species called the Horde came down and started destroying everything. Shira and the rebels would fight back. I was going to be a rebel and I was going to fight with them. I was going to fight. Shit. Over in the, one of the classes I took over at college was tennis, but also racquetball. Racquetball I thought was combat. I'd poured all my energies, all my negativity, everything on that rubber ball. I was killing them. My racket was standing it. My racket would be my weapon. And there was the three walls we actually had. And Wah, 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 wah. Oh, I was frustrating myself. I was going crazy on that damn thing. We take our attendance and we go to the racquetball. Some people will do handball. Me, no, no, no. That racket of mine. Always a solo act on it. Because I kept thinking, this is how the combat would be on this area. And I would use swords or something else to blast away the laser blaster, and I would go after him. I would win Shira's heart. I would go insane on this damn thing, Reverend. I was so damn fixated, it's not even funny on that one. But still, I was wanting to do this. I really wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. I didn't want to deal with what was going on with Ma and Dave. Dave was in the beginning stages of recovery. His personalities would change gradually to where I could like and trust a guy. Ma was already stressing me out left and right. I didn't know what the hell to do about her. I had a therapy session with, I guess a little after that time when I was working at a company for 4 years as retail hell, and then I had a workers' comp situation happen. Job stress. The therapist was on my ass on that one. And the therapist was trying to tell me that I should have left home. I need to leave home. I said, no, I'm not leaving home. I had things I needed at home, and I was there. And I worked 4 years at a retail company. After school threw me out for about an academic year, Ma gave me two options: homeless or work full time. I had to find work. I had to stay there, and there went Australia right out the wall. Gone. Because reality was telling me. Reality was telling me things. Things I had to do, things I had to take care of. But the thing is, I would have support at home. I would have a roof over their head. I would have food. I would have clothing. I would have. But the one thing I didn't have, I wanted as a kid during that time. Because of so much great grief and everything else. I wanted to get the hell out of Dodge, get into a world, and stay there for a long period of time. But I knew that if I did that, Rev, I would want to go back home to see what the hell happened. Would I have been ready to deal with any consequences after that, I wondered. I kept wondering that for years after that. But I would deal with it. I would deal with home. I would deal with life and life's terms. But these days, I'm not so sure. Seeing a young girl, hearing about her, and people like her, it still kicked my ass. It still kicked my ass. Give me a second here. I'm going to put you on pause. I got to put her down on her bed. Yeah, she settled down a bit. I'm wondering how come she got laid down again. I'm still dealing with a lot of things I don't like to deal with. I see these damn suicide situations and I'm saying it's running away. I see me running away. I see me wanting to kill myself back then, but running away, period. And sometimes I have to ask myself on that same adult level, how would God deal with a guy like me that would run away like that, or deal with suicide? We've got theologies out there telling us about it's moral or not moral to kill ourselves. And how would God deal with that one? Just how disappointed would he be in me if I actually went along those lines? How disappointed would my family be And I'm worried about them being disappointed in me if I actually start thinking about those lines, you know? Running away to a nearby planet with magical powers and magical gateways that probably would send me back and forth, hopefully with ease. That was one thing when I was thinking of that about that a long time ago as a kid. Now it's a different thing altogether, Rev. It's a different thing altogether. A lot of turmoil, a lot of trials, angst, anguish, anxiety. Trying to find something in the A's. I could do a list in the dictionary on those. But still. Do I have the need to go to Ethereum? Shit, I'm not even mentally or physically ready for that shit again. I don't even have the equipment. You kidding me? There's no way in hell I could do it. But even if I did, I wouldn't leave. I am too tied. I am too tied. A long while, Reverend, I've been tied. Just didn't even realize it. And when I lost Juan, Dave, I'm here for the duration. I'm here for the duration. You know, if somebody kept calling me, there he is looking for you. I am so stuck in my pain, my grief, in the muck and mire right now that I don't even know how the hell to get out of it. Except just to exist and live in the damn shit. Dealing with education, okay, that's one thing. I was doing a hell of a lot better now than I did a long time ago. Long time ago, I still wanted to leave. I mean, shit. From college, get your shit together, and then you're ready, and then nothing else happens. You get back to reality again. But this time, no Ma, no Dave. I'm not quite sure how long Mama's got, so I have to take it that. I have to keep that into account. And afraid that I'm not. I don't know if I'd be willing to do this game or not. Head game may have been a long time ago, but now we're talking about a reality check. I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for that or not. A full an idiot I am, Reverend. A full an idiot. A dreamer a long time ago. I wanted things. I wanted to be a writer, but wasn't producing. I had hopes of me being a great writer, like some of the ones I admired. Not Stephen King, that's for damn sure. No. Bradbury, Asimov, Roddenberry, and a few others. Terry Brooks. But for being a superhero, being an adventurer, that wasn't it. Sorry. I guess those days kind of burned out of me especially I kept dealing with life on life's terms, and I'm dealing with reality check left and right. How else am I not supposed to be able to deal with the Reverend? Well, there are people actually I could talk to about this. Yeah, you probably thought I probably need a permanent vacation somewhere. Reality. I'm so buried alive with the reality side of it. Funny. I'm buried with the loss of people I have had to say goodbye to. And pets, well, I consider them family members. And now Mama's next. And she's up again. Will you lay down? What is it with you? She is needy. The past few days she's been emotionally needy as if something was coming and she can't explain it. She just doesn't want to leave my side, and the thing is I don't want to leave her side just yet either. I don't know if I'm a disappointment to God or anybody else for that matter. I'm a caregiver to my dog right now until she passes. And I will deal with that as best as I can. Oh, she needs to go to the bathroom. That's what the pads are there for. See, I can't take her outside because I'm afraid that she won't be able to do anything out there. I mean, I did it before a long while ago, but I'm just now the way she is. So I have the pads and I have to keep cleaning up after on that. But at least the pads are able to be put into garbage bags. I'm willing to do it. That's the thing, is willing to take care of that way. A long time ago, Reverend, I ran. I wanted to run. I wanted to take care of someone, be a big hero, be this, be that, and all the childhood head games we were playing at. And yet some people and some things were just too damn scary. Yeah, wait until they get a lot of life and reality. That's a horrible thing right there. Because it gets even worse. Maybe during those times I should have been praying God even harder, but the thing is, I was still scared of God. I was still scared of Him. I was so damn afraid. If it was there, how would you talk to Him? How would you talk at Him, or actually talk to Him? These days I find the need more and more to talk to Him. Because some days it's getting harder and harder to deal with. But I'm not looking forward to a cartoon figure on a damn celluloid to help me out through this shit. Even if it happens, I don't know. It's not going to happen. I don't know. Stranger things have happened, but I hadn't seen it. I've seen this bug war, and I've seen people trying to kill themselves for no damn reason. Or they got a reason, but they hadn't shared it with anybody. And the thing is, I'm feeling more and more empathetic to those people. Feeling that I've walked in a little bit of their shoes. Well, I just gave you a little bit of a tour concerning about my own shoes, dude. So, I will talk at you later, Reverend. We definitely need to talk in person. I'd like that. Nemaltus.